Hello, candle lovers. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Greg, and this is all about candles. And I have a review for you today from Bath and Body Works. This is Sunlit Glow, and this candle came out with some summer collections, sort of the most recent wave of like new summer collections that we got from Bath and Body Works. Although I guess this candle was like a mini collection. The only other candle that sort of looked like this was the Oceanside Lavender. People were really into this like camper van and like surfboards. I don't really see the appeal of it. Like I don't mind I sort of like the kind of opaque, almost sort of ceramic material of the jar. But as far as like, I don't know, the concept of sunlit glow is this whole camper van and like surfboard thing. You know how every now and then Bath and Body Works just decides on like an image or something, and then you see it just popping up everywhere. Like there was a gigantic expensive candle holder that looked like this camper van. There was a wallflower. I don't really see the appeal of it so much. I would have liked for this to have been maybe a little bit more of like an abstract sort of summery, sunny situation, but whatever. I mean, Bath and Body Works, I really can't figure out what they're doing right now. I'll be honest with you guys. And this candle is, I can't figure out what they're really doing with this candle either. But just in general, I've been a Bath and Body Works fan for like 20 years. And I've been a pretty avid Bath and Body Works fan for about 10 years. And I have to say that within the last year, so many things have been happening that just kind of make me go like, what? And this candle is kind of another example of that. We'll talk about the fragrance really briefly here because this is certainly not a super new or interesting fragrance. Like it is a new fragrance from Bath and Body Works, but this is a fragrance that we have smelled before many times. It is, the notes are sunny citrus, beachside coconut, and warm amber. And the coconut makes sense. That's definitely in there. Amber for sure. For me, it's kind of like a musky amber note. But sunny citrus is a confusing note for me because this is actually quite floral. Like I would say like a sunny floral as opposed to a sunny citrus, perhaps like a neroli. It's basically one of those like sunscreeny lotions, not a really cheap, terrible sunscreen lotion, but one of those nicer, in the vein of something sort of like a Sol de Janeiro, all of those sort of sunscreen, suntan fragrances that we've been getting lately, where it's a little bit musky, a little bit coconutty, a fair bit of neroli. And I mean, it's a nice enough fragrance. It's not a bad fragrance at all, but this candle like really just didn't perform very well. I'd say what you get on top, it's sort of like a medium ranging fragrance. What you get on top is like a bright sort of warm kind of tropical floral neroli. In the middle of the fragrance, you get a coconut, and it's kind of it's not super duper coconut forward. It's kind of a bit of a fuzzy coconut note as opposed to like a smooth or a creamy coconut note. And then in the base, there is sort of like a perfumey, like musky amber situation going on. And I mean, it's nice, but it's just not great. And, Bath and Body Works has put out quite a few fragrances like this over the last couple of years that were just much better than this. One that comes to mind is Cocoa Paradise. Every summer I keep hoping that Cocoa Paradise is going to come back, but it doesn't. I do think that Cocoa Paradise was very similar to this, except Cocoa Paradise did have a little bit more of a pronounced coconut vibe to it. And the other candle that this really reminds me of is Bronzed Sunset. And I have a Bronzed Sunset here from a couple of years ago. The scent notes on it are exotic coconut, island waves, and soft musk. And I love Bronzed Sunset. I think that this is a fantastic candle. Oh, you got those thin core wicks on Bronzed Sunset always performs really nicely. Yeah, I love that. I would say that the Sunlit Glow is a little bit of a bit of a lower ranging fragrance than Bronzed Sunset is. Higher notes happening in Bronzed Sunset, but that's because I think the Bronzed Sunset is a much nicer and more balanced fragrance than this Sunlit Glow is, and not to be confused with like Sunset Glow, which Bath and Body Works does, which is kind of like one of those cherry, like Sol de Janeiro fragrances. The Sunlit Glow is just, it's a nice enough fragrance, but it's super, super, super redundant, you know? And also, it's just not as good as other candles like that Bath and Body Works puts out all the time. I would have much preferred to have had Bronzed Sunset come out this summer, but it's not happening. Bronze Sunset is a candle that just smells great and performs really well, like a solid 7 for strength and throw, whereas this Sunlit Glow, like moving on to performance here, this candle like didn't perform. It had like the thick ropey wicks on it, and I did burn it all the way down to the bottom. It did get a fair bit dirty there. I mean, this candle, it was very inconsistent with strength and throw, but it was not good. It was probably pretty lost in my more open space, like kind of not even that detectable. I have to put it below a 5. I'd say it was like a 4 or a 4.5 in my more open space. And then I put it into the bedroom for a little while and I could detect it in there. So I would give it like a 5 or a 5.5. I could have probably tried putting it in a hurricane to get it up to a 6. But I mean, I just wasn't really all that invested in it. And I found myself wanting to burn other candles in my collection that were similar but better, like Sunday actually from Goose Creek, Bronzed Sunset, dig out. I think I have 1 or 2 Cocoa Paradises left somewhere. And I don't understand what Bath and Body Works is up to with their candles this year so far. It has not been good, folks. Now, why would they put out this Sunlit Glow when there are so many candles in their arsenal that people like, that are sort of tried and tested and perform really well and smell so similar but better than this does? You know, like we didn't get Bronzed Sunset back this year, and this is a pretty popular candle. It smells great, it performs like a champ, does really well. You know, it's not one of those candles that you always see hanging around at like winter semi-annual sale. Like that is a candle that sells, but instead of, you know, doing that, maybe Bath and Body Works just felt like they needed to put out something new. And so we ended up with just like a a really crummy version of a fragrance and a candle that they have released before in a much more successful way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really kind of at the end of my rope with Bath and Body Works this summer. It's been super disappointing. And, you know, we're always happy when we see that there's a new fragrance and a new candle. But turns out it's really just a crummier version of several candles that they've already released before, and really disappointing, you know? And like, I feel a little bit ripped off too. Like, I probably should have just returned it. I like never return candles. I don't know why, especially if I've burned them. I just don't like returning candles. I really very, very rarely do it, but I think I'm gonna start returning some stuff once in a while. You know, like if I would rather reach into my candle closet and start burning a candle that came out like 2 years ago, then, you know, why am I forcing myself to continually reach for this just so that I can like get through it and put a review of it up on my YouTube channel? You know, like we're really scraping the bottom of the bucket. Bath and Body Works right now, my friends. And it pains me to say, but like, I'm just not impressed. This sunset glow, or sorry, sunlit glow, whatever, who cares? It's just not good enough. This candle it's quite simply put, not good enough. Not a repurchase for me or a recommendation for you. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know what to say, folks. I don't know what to say when it comes to Bath and Body Works. I also purchased the Sunlit Glow in the foaming hand soap. As you can see, it's almost done. I've actually really enjoyed the soap. I feel like the hand soap had better strength and throw than the candle did. I feel like I experienced the fragrance more often, more frequently, and more strongly by using the foaming hand soap than I did burning the candle. And once again, we have that like camper van there. I mean, just, what does it say? Sunshine on my mind. Maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, folks. Maybe I just really woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, but I stand by what I said. Don't waste your money on Sunlit Glow. Get Sunday from Goose Creek. Pull out an old Cocoa Paradise or a Bronx Sunset if you have one. Let's wait until next summer. Maybe Bath and Body Works maybe they need to hit rock bottom before they're able to start climbing their way out of it. That's all I've got for you folks today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You can follow me on Instagram at allaboutcandles and email your burning questions to allaboutcandles@gmail.com. And until next time, my dear, gorgeous, and beautiful candle-loving friends, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Thanks, you guys. Bye now.